So let's solve this question from the last notebook from the objective-oriented programming. So first of all, we'll mention the class, and then we need to use the method init. So we use the same parameters as previous, but we need to add an object's color. And so with the variables self, we add attributes of a class. So also in init method we can use some logic. So let's take a look what these letters mean, what these lines mean. So for example, if we don't have an X here, we can write pretty much anything. And here we'll write just 3 dots. So like 1, 2, 3. So it means that we'll use these dots by default, and we don't need to transfer any other parameters here. So yeah, if x is none, we can use you can use it and create similar examples as we did in the previous one. But the difference is it will be decomposed into compute x. So in case if x is missing, we can add self compute x. So basically this function self compute x will return the data array from the previous one. And therefore x will equal this number of this method. So num points will stay the same. And if we have an x, we use num points as will equal the data array of x. And so we also have compute y, and it is pretty much the same decomposition. So we'll use the same generator as we've had in the previous task. And yeah, we also have function create and plot, and it basically draws a graph and based on this xy axis and demonstrates this to us. Okay, so let's import this package. So now let's see how it works. So here we set an x as from 0 to 5, or 2 dots 0 and 5. And we have our line based on these 2 dots. So we can experiment with different variables as well. So as you can see, the result is pretty much the same as we've had in the previous notebook. So yeah, let's rewrite the class with the same way, but we need to do a different thing with the function. So let's do it in the context of object-oriented programming. So what if we want to calculate the outcome from different variables? Shall we rewrite the code in this case? So yeah, in this case we shouldn't rewrite the code, we can use the inheritance function. So we create one class 3D which is inherent from the previous class. So here this init method is being transferred from the init method of the parent. So then we need to reassess the method compute y, and we also reassess the method create and plot. So yeah, what is reassessing? So this one, if we look at the compute y, we also have it in the parent account. And yeah, if we look at the compute y, it has different functions in the parent account. So here in the child account needs to make the sum with x and with z. So in order to get this sum, we need to use the function mesh grid. So basically the main idea is just to create the grid, and I will send this document after the class, where you can look up the details. And then let's reassess the method def and plot. So it's also quite simple. So first of all, we create a figure, and then we say that the graph is going to be 3D. So we set the axis, and then we can we can draw a figure.